Kara, thank you. In your vote, 2024, President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump have very different schedules as they inch closer to the general election in November. Our Washington correspondent, Julia Benbrook, joins us live from the White House with details. Julia, let's start with Biden. What's on his agenda today?
Well, Phil, President Joe Biden was in Wisconsin trying to draw a direct line between his signature legislative achievements and investments in job growth. He's doing this as he works to win over voters who are unhappy with the overall economy.
President Joe Biden announcing a more than $3 billion investment from Microsoft to build a new artificial intelligence facility in Wisconsin.
It's going to be transformative. Not just here, but worldwide.
This new facility will be located at the same site where in 2018, then President Donald Trump broke ground on what was supposed to be a signature project under his administration, an electronics factory for Taiwan's Foxconn, which had secured billions in tax credits and promised thousands of jobs. Those investments largely failed to materialize.
They dug a hole with those golden shovels, and then they fell into it.
Meanwhile, Trump has the day off from court. On Tuesday, Stormy Daniels, the adult film star Trump is accused of trying to silence with a hush money payment, took the stand. Daniels detailed the alleged affair she had with Trump, which he denies ever happened. Trump has pleaded not guilty to 34 counts of falsifying business records.
I should be in a lot of different places right now campaigning, and I'm sitting here.
Trump often complains that he should be on the campaign trail when he's stuck in court. But the trial goes dark on Wednesdays, and Trump is choosing to spend this Wednesday at Mar-a-Lago with supporters who purchased multiple NFTs. Trump's NFTs include a photo of his mugshot taken after he was arrested in Georgia last year. His NFTs are not connected to the campaign.
Trump spent his day out of the courtroom last week campaigning in two key battleground states, Wisconsin and Michigan. The week before that, he spent his Wednesday on the golf course at his resort in Bedminster, New Jersey. Reporting live at the White House, Julia Benbrook, Wish TV.